While Western media obsesses over political drama and celebrity scandals, China has been building something that sounds like science fiction. Not in secret labs or classified facilities, but in plain sight across entire cities. AI systems making medical diagnoses more accurately than experienced doctors. Robot dogs patrolling industrial sites autonomously. Humanoid machines performing surgery thousands of kilometers away. Trains floating on magnetic fields at speeds exceeding commercial aircraft. This isn't a dystopian future scenario. This is China in 2025. And here's what almost nobody in the West is discussing. The technological gap isn't closing, it's widening. While Western nations debate regulations and worry about job displacement, China is deploying these systems at scale, solving real problems, and fundamentally restructuring how their society operates. The question isn't whether this technology is coming. It's already here. The question is whether the rest of the world understands what just happened, and whether they can catch up before the gap becomes permanent. The demographic crisis, why AI became urgent. Understanding China's AI revolution requires understanding the crisis that forced it. United Nations projections paint a stark picture. China's population, currently 1.4 billion, is expected to decline to 1.3 billion by 2050 and potentially fall to just 633 million by 2100. Between 2024 and 2040 alone, China will experience the largest absolute population loss of any nation on Earth. This isn't gradual change. This is demographic collapse. Decades of the one-child policy combined with rising living costs and economic uncertainty created a perfect storm. Fewer young workers, fewer doctors, fewer caregivers, fewer farmers. And all of this is happening precisely when an aging population requires more medical care, more assistance, and more support than ever before. The traditional solution, import workers, increase immigration, isn't politically viable in China. The alternative solution, accept economic decline and reduced living standards, isn't acceptable to the government or the population. So China chose a third path: replace the missing workers with machines. Not eventually, not gradually, immediately and at scale. This demographic pressure created urgency that Western nations don't feel. When you face workforce collapse within a generation, experimental technology becomes existential necessity. Regulations that might delay deployment by years become unaffordable luxuries. That urgency explains why China is moving so fast and why they're winning. The AI hospital training doctors at impossible speed. In 2025, Tsinghua University unveiled something unprecedented. The world's first AI-powered hospital. Not a physical building, but a vast virtual healthcare ecosystem where artificial intelligence doctors train themselves. The system, called the Agent Hospital, uses a self-learning framework named MedAgent Zero. AI agents take on roles as patients, doctors, and nurses. They interact continuously across more than 300 diseases, enabling AI doctors to practice diagnosis and treatment autonomously. The speed is staggering. What would take human doctors years of clinical experience to encounter, AI doctors learn in days through constant repetition and feedback. In April 2025, the system moved from research to reality. Beijing Tsinghua Changgung Hospital integrated the Agent Hospital directly into functioning medical departments, general practice, ophthalmology, radiology, and respiratory medicine. During testing, the system processed 10,000 patient cases in just days, achieving 93% diagnostic accuracy. Processing that volume of cases would take human doctors years. Currently, 42 AI doctors operate across 21 medical specialties, collectively managing over 300 diseases. But patient care is only part of the vision. The Agent Hospital also serves as a training ground where medical students learn to collaborate with AI rather than compete against it. This addresses China's deepest healthcare challenge, a widening gap between medical demand from an aging population and the supply of trained physicians. Traditional medical schools can't produce doctors fast enough. AI training systems can. The implications extend beyond China. When AI doctors achieve 93% accuracy while processing thousands of cases daily, the entire model of medical education and healthcare delivery faces disruption. The surveillance state AI peacekeepers. China's AI revolution isn't limited to healthcare. The most visible and controversial application is law enforcement and public security. In July 2025, Chinese officials announced that despite rapid urbanization and social change, China records one of the world's lowest homicide rates, just 0.44 deaths per 100,000 people. During the 14th five-year plan period, authorities dismantled over 590 organized crime groups and nearly 9,000 criminal gangs. The system behind these results, an AI-powered surveillance network called Skynet. China now operates nearly 800 smart city pilot programs and has become the world's largest investor in video surveillance. In 2023 alone, spending exceeded $38 billion. These aren't passive cameras, they're AI-powered systems capable of facial recognition, behavioral analysis, and predictive policing. In Kunshan City, Jiangsu Province, the Kunpeng AI police team developed over 220 AI models designed to disrupt crime before it occurs. In one case, the system froze a fraudulent transfer of 500,000 yuan in under 10 minutes, traced 87 linked accounts, and supported arrests within 3 days. Officers estimated the same investigation would typically require 5 or 6 people working for 2 weeks. Large AI models now analyze past crimes, travel flows, and crowd movements to forecast risk. Before major holidays, systems warn that theft or fraud risks are rising in specific commercial districts, allowing police to adjust patrols before incidents occur. The influence extends into courtrooms. Prosecutors use AI tools to review case files and cross-check evidence. Judges use AI to organize evidence, compare similar rulings, and suggest sentencing ranges. At Hainan High People's Court, officials reported AI tools reduced judgment drafting time by 70%. Western observers raise serious privacy concerns. China has responded with new regulations requiring companies to obtain explicit consent for facial recognition and provide alternative verification options. Organizations handling large volumes of personal data must conduct compliance audits, but the fundamental expansion continues. As demographic decline reduces available law enforcement personnel, AI systems allow fewer officers to secure larger areas. The question isn't whether China will deploy more surveillance AI. It's whether other nations can or will follow. The autonomous revolution, self-driving at scale. In December 2025, China granted its first production permits for Level 3 autonomous vehicles, cars legally approved for limited self-driving on public roads. 2 models received authorization: the Chang'an Shenlan SL03 and the ArcFox Alpha. The approval came with strict safety limits. The Chang'an model can activate automated driving only on designated highways during traffic congestion at speeds below 50 km per hour. The ArcFox model operates on selected Beijing highways up to 80 km per hour. But these regulatory approvals represent just the visible tip of a massive autonomous vehicle ecosystem. China is testing self-driving taxis in 19 cities with 16,000 test vehicles operating on 32,000 kilometers of designated roads. Companies like Baidu's Apollo program operate some of the world's largest robotaxi fleets with millions of completed rides in cities, including Wuhan and Shenzhen. The technology stack behind these vehicles is advancing rapidly. Many Chinese cars now integrate AI systems handling perception, decision-making, and driver interaction. Vehicles feature dual AI processors, high-definition camera arrays, ultrasonic sensors, and multiple radar units enabling lane changes, obstacle avoidance, traffic light recognition, automated parking, and complex urban turns. Chinese automakers have also pushed vehicle mobility far beyond conventional driving. Models like Baidu's Yangwang U8 use 4 independent electric motors allowing zero radius turns, sideways parking movements, and even limited water traversal where the vehicle can float and move through deep floodwater. Critically, China has addressed legal liability. Under national rules, when a Level 4 or Level 5 vehicle operates in self-driving mode, liability for accidents falls on the manufacturer or fleet operator, not the passenger. This removes a major adoption barrier by providing legal clarity and consumer protection. Public acceptance is dramatically higher than in Western nations. Approximately 85% of Chinese citizens are comfortable with autonomous vehicles, compared to just 39% of Americans. The demographic crisis drives this acceptance. As the population ages and younger drivers decline, autonomous vehicles aren't luxury conveniences, they're necessary infrastructure to maintain mobility. The maglev breakthrough beyond aircraft speed. While autonomous cars revolutionize urban transport, China is simultaneously redefining long-distance travel with magnetic levitation technology that approaches the speed of sound. The T-Flight project represents China's most ambitious transportation goal, a maglev train capable of reaching 1,000 km per hour inside a low vacuum tube. At that speed, the distinction between rail travel and air travel disappears. The physics are straightforward, but extremely difficult to implement. Powerful electromagnetic forces lift the train roughly 10 millimeters above the track, eliminating friction. Operating inside a low vacuum tube dramatically reduces air resistance, the main barrier to extreme speed. In February 2024, proof of concept arrived. During testing on a 2-kilometer track, the T-Flight prototype successfully levitated and accelerated to 623 km per hour, confirming the system works as designed. Plans are now underway to build a 60-kilometer full-scale test line in Shaanxi province with the stated goal of breaking 1,000 km per hour. At that speed, travel time between Beijing and Shanghai would drop from 5.5 hours to approximately 2.5 hours, faster than flying when accounting for airport security and boarding. China has also reinforced its leadership in conventional high-speed rail. Chinese experts recently chaired the committee that set the global standard for high-speed railway infrastructure design. That standard, now used worldwide, reflects China's real-world engineering experience with earthquake-resistant bridges and ultra-stable track systems. The construction of these systems increasingly relies on AI and robotics. Companies like MechMind Robotics deploy embodied intelligence on construction sites. High-precision 3D cameras scan complex scenes. AI processes the data and plans tasks. Robotic arms perform physical work. On rail projects, AI-based inspection software performs 3D inspections of thousands of components with millimeter-level accuracy. Autonomous robots sort and move heavy materials. Robots handle dangerous tasks like welding in tight spaces or lifting steel beams at great heights. The robot workforce beyond human limits. China's demographic crisis has driven development of industrial and service robots at unprecedented scale. Unitary Robotics leads quadruped robot development with platforms like the Go 2, featuring sophisticated 4D LiDAR systems providing 360-degree hemispherical recognition with 5-centimeter minimum detection range. Top speed, roughly 5 meters per second. Payload capacity, up to 12 kilograms. These aren't laboratory demonstrations, they're industrial tools. The Unitary B2 industrial quadruped carries payloads up to 30 kilograms for 90 minutes while navigating stairs, rubble, confined spaces, and uneven terrain. Equipped with LiDAR, HD cameras, and optional thermal and acoustic sensors, it autonomously patrols facilities, scans for overheating components, detects abnormal machinery sounds, reads gauges, and identifies leaks. These systems reorganize human expertise. A single technician can oversee an entire fleet, intervening only when robots flag anomalies requiring judgment or repair. Parallel development focuses on humanoid robots for the silver economy. Citizens aged 65 and older now account for roughly 15% of China's population. By 2035, China is projected to become a super-aged society. The gap between caregiving demand and available human labor is widening rapidly. Companies like Fourier Intelligence develop humanoids like the GR1, a 5'4" platform with vision, audio, and tactile sensing, performing physically demanding tasks like lifting and supporting patients. Firms like AgileBot target customer service and flexible manufacturing. The humanoid form is functional, not aesthetic. Homes, hospitals, offices, and factories are built for human movement. Robots with similar morphology operate in these environments without costly retrofits. On August 8, 2025, Beijing opened the world's first 4S retail hub for humanoid and service robots, the AI Shopping Mall. Housing over 50 brands and 100-plus robot models, it showcases industrial arms, logistics robots, entertainment bots, and humanoids. Visitors interact with robots serving coffee, playing chess, patrolling floors, and performing tasks in real time. The widening gap. China's AI revolution isn't a singular breakthrough. It's the coordinated deployment of multiple transformative technologies simultaneously across an entire society. AI doctors training at impossible speeds, surveillance systems predicting crime before it occurs, autonomous vehicles operating at scale, trains approaching the speed of sound, robots performing surgery, patrolling facilities, and caring for the elderly. These aren't pilot programs or research projects. These are operational systems deployed across cities serving hundreds of millions of people. The demographic crisis that forced this transformation might seem like a disadvantage, but it created urgency that Western nations lack. When workforce collapse threatens within a generation, hesitation becomes existential risk. Western nations debate AI ethics while China deploys AI systems. Western regulators slow autonomous vehicle testing while China grants production permits. Western hospitals struggle with doctor shortages while China trains AI physicians in virtual environments. The gap isn't closing, it's accelerating. And the uncomfortable truth, the West might not be 10 years behind. It might be further. If this analysis changed how you see the global technology race, subscribe for continued coverage of China's AI revolution and its implications for the rest of the world. Comment below. Can the West catch up, or has China's demographic crisis accidentally created an insurmountable technological advantage? The future isn't coming. It's already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Thanks for watching.